Happy Friday. I hope everybody's having a great day so far because guess what? We have finally made it, guys. We are now officially at our weekend, and I pray that if you're having lunch right now, if you're having dinner right now, you're tuned in to us because, again, we're all about making your day a little bit better, giving you something to smile about, giving you something to talk about, something outside of all the heavy news drama that happens in your normal news cycle, which, again, is important to be aware of. But, again, it's always important to take a step back and just give yourself some me time. And sometimes that me time includes having other things to talk about outside of all that stuff. So today we got a lot of cool stories coming your way. But first and foremost, I have a question to you. Check out this. Boo, shakalaka. The question is this chick wrong or right? This was obviously done in a response to an unruly customer. We're going to get into exactly what he did, what she did, and what she had to say after the math. But again, ask yourself, is this right? Is this wrong? If you were in this situation, would you have done the same thing dealing with an unruly customer? Again, we're going to get into the specifics about what he did exactly, because I know half of you guys are probably looking at that and just like, no, she's wrong, man. You never resort to violence. And I'm that type of person too. But when you see what he did, you might think twice about that. All right. Speaking of thinking twice about doing certain actions, man, we got this terrifying moment that was caught on camera. This happened along the Capitol Beltway just outside of D.C. And it's kind of like disturbing to look at. But fortunately, this particular officer who was involved in this situation is alive and well. So check this out real quick. It's the moment the Virginia State Trooper was hit by a suspected drunk driver. Man, look at that, during the traffic stop. So this is the moment right here before the impact. It says that she was going to pull people over, obviously dealing with the first car. But then this Jeep comes out of nowhere. Traveling on Interstate 495, this is Fairfax County, crashed into her patrol unit, which crashed her into her, knocking her down. Police says that this shows how dangerous a traffic stop can be for law enforcement, which is why the move over law is so important. Now, obviously, just one more look at the impact here. Again, she's doing a traffic stop. Someone hits her Jeep, boom, hits her patrol car, and it hits her. But she popped right back up by the grace of God, and obviously had to issue some extra stuff with that traffic stop. But again, this is what the actual trooper's vehicle looked like after the crash. Fortunately, and as a miracle, she didn't break any bones or anything, but unfortunately, she is facing a long road to recovery. So, yeah, no, this is just a clear example of why it's important to pay attention on the roadways. And granted, both of these drivers, I think, walked away with a DUI. Yeah, it says both drivers facing a DUI situation. One, don't do that. But two, especially if you are just normally driving and stuff, you just got to pay attention when you see an officer has pulled somebody over, especially at night. Just try to stay as far away from him as possible, because at the end of the day, you have a huge steel vehicle versus the human body, flesh of an officer on a dangerous highway. So yeah, we just got to be careful with that. But yeah, thank God that officer survived that hit, was able to get back up, and I pray that she has a quick recovery. Moving on, man. Of course, we got to give some awareness to the granny nanny. That's what friends and family have affectionately nicknamed Lee Prom, after years of her taking care of people living with Alzheimer's. Her mom was diagnosed with the disease in 2000. Now she's a professional caretaker and advocate. She's raising money for what's known as the longest day, one of the biggest days for Alzheimer's fundraising. This is on June the 20th, which is the summer solstice. 7 a.m., rain or shine, she'll be running an awareness at Franklin County High School. And you can join her, help her out, either by donating, running alongside her, or doing both.
So we want to raise funds and awareness, but think of caregivers for whom the days are very, very long. So the longest day. So the Alzheimer's Association has a little mantra that goes like this. It says, "The day with the most light is the day we fight."
I love it, man. You can find all the details right now for Lee's fundraiser on our website at WSLS.com. Let's get into some fun action right now. There is nothing like flying through the clouds and being in the sky. And children in our region have the opportunity to do that for free. Check this out. Saturday, the Pulaski County is hosting their second community fly-in event. Our own Thomas Mundy was in the air on a joyride with what this preview had to do, what it all entails. Of course, the fly-in event will be from 10 to 4 Saturday. If you do not get to fly, you can sign up for a free flight for your kid in the future. Again, all the details are on our website at WSLS.com. Look at Thomas just looking like a happy kid flying in the air. This is going to be a cool event, man. And this guy he's flying with, this is Peter Huber. He's a pilot. He says it's a great opportunity for the kids to go on these rides, to see, something different from what they typically see on a daily basis. So shout out to him for doing this. I pray so much that the angels above wrap a band of angels around them as they go up and down in the air during that experience. But it should be a great time for kiddos. And who knows, it might inspire future pilots, because we need them with our shortage that got going right now. All right, guys, let's get right into our forecast. Woke up today, it was pretty comfortable outside. And again, those temperatures are going to be a bit warm this weekend. Want to be in the know. Meteorologist Chris Michaels has that for you.
I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels. Today, tracking near record heat as high temperatures in the Roanoke Valley reached the lower 90s. Still fairly hot. Father's Day, though the humidity is not going to be quite as bad. The heat index next week, however, has the potential to get close to triple digits outside of the mountains. Maybe a few isolated storms later today, especially into the evening. Mostly dry this holiday weekend. Then as we head into next week, lows mid to upper 60s. Highs in the mountains in the 80s. Outside of the mountains, they make it into the low to mid 90s.
I just love Chris. Thank you so much for that forecast. Guys, do not go anywhere. You already know we got some more stuff coming your way after the break. For example, a person who decided to go on a high-speed chase in a kayak. We're going to get into that. But we're also going to talk about the whole Barista story that I told you guys about. So I showed you this video at the beginning of the show. And this video is this chick busting this windshield of a guy due to his unruly behavior as a customer. Well, this was in response to this right here. Check it out. Boom. Yep. Throwing his stuff right through the drive-through window. We're going to get into this story, what happened, what went down, why she's standing strong behind her actions of what she did. And again, do you think she was right or wrong to have this response? We have that and so much more coming your way after the break. Stay tuned to WSLS.com on The Sprint. Welcome back to The Sprint, guys. Let's get right into it. Okay, so this is kind of a entertaining kind of situation. If you were a patrol officer here, this is definitely one that you're going to be talking about with your family when you get back home. So check this out. Washington State Patrol tracks down their suspects on land and in water. The troopers at a patrol helicopter nicknamed Smokey were called in to help the police track a stolen car. Well, get this. With the chopper overhead, the suspected thief jumped from the car and raced to the river. And he thought it was a good idea to get in a kayak and try to paddle away. But obviously, the kayak, did not go far. Suspect then took off on foot once he ran into the ground, but officers quickly caught up with him. This is, again, you never see this stuff every day, but sometimes you ask yourself, what were you thinking? Cuz started on land. He said that I'm about to get in this kayak. They're never going to find me, even though I'm the only one in this body of water with this loud, light blue kayak. Good job, bro. I mean, if they didn't see you, or if they saw you on the road in this stolen vehicle, they're going to see you above ground on top of the water. Like, I don't know. People just do some things, but I don't know. He just said that he was just going to go out with a bang, and he surely did. But I was making a joke earlier. I bet that joker would have felt too scared if they would have dropped some speedboats in the water to get him. But fortunately, everybody made it out okay and uninjured. But unfortunately for this guy, he is definitely facing something in his record now that he did something he ain't got no business doing. All right, moving on, guys. Speaking of having no business doing this, we're getting into this story right here. So there was an argument over coffee prices that led to something extraordinary in Seattle. A coffee stand owner ended up smashing an angry customer's windshield. You guys saw the videos earlier, but she says he's the one who assaulted her. So we're going to get into the story. And again, I want to know, do you think who was who or who was right in this situation? Check out the story.
At what point Are we told that we're supposed to just wait for it to get worse?
As the owner and sole employee of Taste of Heaven Espresso, Emily is a firm believer of standing up for yourself.
Disrespect and violence are two different things. I can handle the disrespect. The violence is that's where the line is like crossed.
She says that line was crossed by this customer, unhappy with her prices.
He was demanding $5, and I was like, that's not really how that works, and there's not a refund policy.
This video shows the man outside of his car arguing with Lee. She told me the customer in the red shirt tried to talk the man down, but it quickly escalated. But it's when the man said this, "Nobody's gonna make me," when Lee felt threatened.
Like, okay, so you have no problem harming me. You're making that clear.
That's when the man tossed his drinks back at Lee, but she closed her window just in time.
It's one thing to yell, it's one thing to get mad, it's one thing to even be outside of your car and try to threaten me, but to actually have the action behind it, it changed things for me where I was like, oh no.
So she handled it with a hammer.
I personally think that you thought that you were going to throw drinks on me and ruin my day. You're going to pay for a new windshield and it's going to ruin your day.
Even with the smashed windshield, Lee says he refused to leave and she had no other option but to call the cops.
The police came, they got him to leave, right? It is understood that what happened is he assaulted me and I responded.
Despite what anyone says, Lee believes that female workers like herself shouldn't be afraid to protect themselves.
I mean, I posted on social media and I had a few comments that were like, oh, he didn't actually put hands on you. And I'm like, so is that the level to which a woman is allowed to fight back?
Yeah, so as you can see, first of all, I would not want to pick a fight with that chick, man. She looked like she'd have seen some things and done some things, and she just doesn't play, as you can see right there. Anyways, Lee didn't press charges, and no arrests were made. But again, the question is, do you think she was right to respond this way? I was going through the comment section, going through Reddit and all that good stuff. So check this out.
A couple people were
just like, one dude said, unruly customer. Oh, well, this person made a joke. Check this out. So I'm going to try to do it justice, okay? A person responded saying, unruly customer, blah, 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 barista, stop. Hammer time. And then unruly customer. Oh, it's crazy. I know. That's funny. Basically, they're trying to say she chose hammer time today. Another person says, if your coffee is overpriced, you take the L and don't go back there. You don't whine over the $2 to $3 you lost on a call and cause a scene. True. Facts. And then somebody says, or if the coffee is overpriced, just don't buy it. 100%. Another person said, go grab a coffee at Taste of Heaven Espresso in South Seattle to support this girl. So this person is all about her defending herself, doing her thing to get her lick back, basically. Another person says, good for her. Employees shouldn't be expected to just take it from disrespectful and potentially harmful customers. There needs to be consequences for these customers. And then somebody else responded with, you go girls. So yeah, no, 100%. I'm the type of person, no, I'm not advocating for violence at all. But then again, I have never been placed in this kind of situation. And I don't know what my reaction would have been. I probably wouldn't have busted his thing like that. But at the same time, a person looking at this might think to themselves, okay, he could have did anything else. And, you know, in that moment, that's how she felt defending herself. So, hey, you do what you got to do, man. If anything, let this be a lesson to you guys as customers. You don't know what your barista or your, food chain worker is going through. You don't know what kind of bad day they're having. So whatever your actions are and they retaliate against you, sometimes you asked for it, okay? So, again, this guy had no business throwing. I hate it when people do that. I've seen some videos where people actually throw stuff on people because they're upset. That stuff, it bothers me so bad because you trying to make a point by ruining a person's outfit and just being very disrespectful. So, hey, I'm the type of person where I'm just like, I would see this and say, I saw nothing if it came down to trying to go to the police. No, I'm glad. I'm glad for her. Happy for her for standing up for herself, standing strong on what she believes, and again, trying to embolden people like herself who are working these hours, 9-to-5 jobs, trying to, be nice to customers. And this is the reactions that they get. So let's get to Jazzy Jazz. Jazz, are you with me?
Yes, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, girl. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am good. Just over here looking at this video, man. And like I said, it's kind of crazy that, what do you call it? You gonna reap what you sow? Consequences for your actions,
to understand that there are consequences for their actions, and you can't just go to a business and expect respect if you're not giving it in return.
Right.
You gotta understand how the person involved is in grasping it, because the fact that he not only was disrespectful to her, that's one thing where you're being verbally disrespectful, but it escalated to the point where he is hinting that he may harm her,
Yeah.
that no one would miss her if he did so, and then he threw his drink at her.
Right.
Like, that's just too much. And I feel like I don't understand why people feel, especially adults, because a lot of employees that you see at these fast food restaurants are young teens,
Right.
just now get into the workforce, just now finding themselves a new job, kind of like just learning how to navigate the working world and how to be so working individual. In fact, they have to deal with these customers who can't even have like the basic human decency.
Right.
Be respectful. Like, I understand the frustrations, but is it really that serious?
Exactly.
Like, you want to throw your drink at someone and threaten their life?
Right. No, it was a bit much. See, I'm just like, I almost would rather he just drive off and steal them. Like not doing something like that, and just because of that, which would have been probably maybe a slightly expensive drink, which maybe with maybe $10 or whatever that he spent. Now he's going to have to spend a lot more because his windshield jacked up, because again, you just can't do that. You don't know what people will do. You don't know what she could have done. Thank God that she just pulled a hammer out and hit his windshield. But at the same time, actions have consequences. People just need to really think before they act when they're just, I don't care how emotional you are in that moment.
Because it could have been a far worse situation.
Yeah.
So I'm not glad for what happened, but I think he needed to learn and see that his actions have consequences, and that you can't go in this world, like I said, demanding respect if you're not going to dish it out yourself.
Amen.
Did they say how old she was?
No, but she looks young. She looks like she's in her like mid 20s, early to mid 20s or something.
It's just like, we are adults at the end of the day. Like, we can't have interactions like this over coffee.
Hey,
I'm sorry,
hey.
but it's not that serious.
Hey,
go
man.
somewhere else and get you a cheaper cup of coffee.
Yes. Hey, and speaking of getting some coffee, I need everybody to grab you a cup of coffee tomorrow morning, because get this, we got our shred event, and you need to be up when you get in them lines.
Oh, yes. So we're going to be up bright and early at 8 a.m. from noon at the Berglund Center for the WSLS Shred event. Now, I know you guys love this event. We always get a lot of emails about it. I mean, we started getting emails in April. The people asking us if we were still having it, maybe even earlier than that. So I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to it. Again, it's tomorrow from 8 a.m. to noon at the Berglund Center. We have a new location this year, so just make sure you head to the Berglund Center instead of Shoals. And it's, as far as the entrance goes, it's the Rutherford entrance. It's right across the street from the McDonald's and number 1 as you're heading to the Berglund Center. It'll be completely obvious where we're at. You'll see WSLS banners in our tent, so just look for that as you're driving towards us. And we have a limit of 3 bags per person. So this is really a good opportunity to really get rid of those personal documents in a safe way. If they're cluttering your home and you're just looking for a way to get rid of them, this is a perfect way to do so. And the best part is it's completely free.
Yes.
So swing on by. We would love to see you. Jackie's going to be there. Dr. Combs going to be there. Abby, Rachel, we're going to have a lot of faces there, because we're really, really excited to see you guys. And in addition to this, we also have an exciting insider sweepstakes where you can win your very own paper shredder. So it will be open until this Sunday at midnight. And all of the information is on WSLS.com. And all you have to do is sign up to be an insider to enter. So we have tons of information on the shred event itself on WSLS.com, as well as the sweepstakes. So we are super excited to see you guys there. We know this is a big deal for our community, so we're super pumped to put this on. We'll even be live streaming it on WSLS.com tomorrow if you just want to get a look at how the event is unfolding and how many people are there, what the line is looking like. You can head to WSLS.com and check that out there.
Hey.
So, I'm super excited. How you feel about it, Jack? I know you'll be there bright and early, too.
I'm excited, man. I tell everybody I'm bringing my speakers, so we're going to have a good time. I can't wait to just experience it for the first time, because apparently this is I always ask myself, what is it again? Like, what's the big deal? And I get it. I know it's about protecting your identity. You got people stealing people's identities all the the time. But more than anything, it's about getting in tune with the community. I love seeing viewers. So anytime we can see a viewer, you come by out, you see the WSLS tents, come by, say hey, get some apparel and all that good stuff. We're going to have a good time tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a fun time. We really love just interacting with the community and just hearing from you guys. Because, I mean, we're people too, and we love just being able to have conversations and get to know you and just chit-chat. So be able to swing by. We cannot wait to see you. We'll probably be posting about it all day today. If you just want to get more details on it, you can head to our Facebook. We have the event page there for more information. And we'll also be pushing to it in our shows, just as a reminder. So, yes, it's going to be a really fun time.
Yes, Jasmine. Well, I will see you tomorrow.
All right.
All right, girl. Bye. All right, guys. That does it for our show today. Thanks so much for joining the conversation with us. And again, if you go back and watch this episode and drop a comment in there, let us know. We would love to have that conversation, give you shout outs and all that good stuff. And again, just have a back and forth, good, authentic, peaceful conversation. Again, thanks so much for joining us on this Friday. We're wrapping this week up. I hope to see a lot of you guys out tomorrow at the Berglund Center. Again, we'll be there from 8 until noon. We'll be under the tent waiting for you guys to roll on in and to take all your papers so that, again, it can be disposed of properly. You won't have to deal with any possible identity theft issues. With that being said, you guys have a blessed rest of your day, a blessed rest of your weekend. Stay cool. And again, happy Father's Day. It's a Father's Day weekend as well. So do something great with dad. Go out grilling, go fishing, go hunting, go do something that you typically do with your dad to show him that he is very much so appreciated. Love my dad. Happy Father's Day. Giving you a huge shout out. I can't wait to see you soon, man, because you know you my dog. Either way, love you guys. Y'all take care. And again, thanks so much for joining us on The Sprint at WSLS.com.